Hey guys, I'm Jeremy,
And I'm Jeffrey.
and it's Saturday.
Yes, it is.
So this week we're actually going to start a mini series of kind of like the next few videos we're going to talk about. We want to talk about some of our favorite genres and then some of our favorite books within those genres. And then we'll talk about kind of like what we would like to see with where that genre is going, if we would like to see more of it, less of it, or a direction it would want to go, we would want to see it go.
So this week we're going to talk about one of our favorite genres, sci-fi. So far there haven't been too many sci-fi young adult books that I know of that are out there, but the few that I have read and that I know of are excellent, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
A few years ago, io9.com actually posted an article on their website entitled "Young Adult Books Will Save Science Fiction," and actually talked about the reasons behind why science fiction was going down and how it's going to be saved, and actually promoted some books that were coming out to movies and that were actually coming out around that time. So Jeffrey's actually going to read a bit of this article. It's from 2008, so it's a little dated, but it's good nonetheless. So he's just going to read you a little bit, and then if you look down below, we're actually going to link the entire article.
The biggest growth in science fiction publishing these days, hands down, is happening in the young adult market, and that's great news. While the real science fiction publishers are chasing a shrinking and graying readership, tweens and teens are discovering science fiction for themselves, thanks to the books from a diverse range of writers. Best of all, YA science fiction isn't aimed at a subculture, but at everybody of a particular age. So the one thing that's great about science fiction in the young adult culture as compared to regular science fiction is that it's not bound by all these
Huge terms.
And like the adult science fiction is based in mostly reality, like what could be possible,
Reality and physics and all
and
that
even
deep stuff.
even though young adult science fiction is that, it's more about the relationships. At least from the ones I've read, it's more about the relationships.
It's about the people rather than the actual science behind it, to where, yeah, there's science there, but it focuses more on the development of the characters and kind of what the characters are going through, and isn't weighed down by all the jargon and heavy stuff that typical, sci-fi is heavy on. And that's why adult sci-fi is usually a lot harder for younger people to get into, because it's just harder to push through and read all the big words and physics behind it all.
So we're going to share with you a few of our favorites, and hopefully they're your favorites as well.
One that I've read, it came out in June, but I read it, right before it came out. It's Hourglass by Myra McIntyre.
One that I read recently was Glow by Amy Kathleen Ryan.
And the last one, which is always brought up because it is one of my favorite books and one of his favorite books of all time, as far as young adult books go, is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This one easily falls under the science fiction realm, as it takes place on a spaceship in space with cryogenic tubes and all sorts of things.
And high-tech stuff.
Right. You go talk to Beth, and she's a hardcore science fiction fan. Doctor Who, everything. I mean, she loves science fiction, and it shows through her writing because she knows what she's talking about. And so this one's definitely, at pretty much the top of my list as far as sci-fi YA goes. And, honestly, that's really it as far as YA sci-fi that's out there currently.
That we know of. Hopefully there's more being published now and in the future, because I would love to see more.
Because this is definitely, I think, the most untapped genre in YA, and that's why we wanted to start out on it, because it's honestly one of our favorites, and it's just not written on enough, and so we would love to see more books written with science fiction aspects to them, and hopefully in the future we think this could be the next big thing. It's not vampires or werewolves or any of that. It's sci-fi as a whole is what I hope would be next. The next
After
big thing.
dystopian.
If you guys have any recommendations, or there are any other sci-fi YA books you can think of that you would love to let us know about. Maybe we didn't mention them. We only mentioned really 3 or 4 today. But if there are any more that you can think of, please, leave them down in the comments. Let us know what we missed, and
we would love to read more and know about more science fiction books that are out there for young adults.
Right. So that wraps up this week's genre topic. Just tune in the next few weeks where we're going to be talking about our next couple favorites. Dystopian, steampunk, contemporary, things like that.
Also to mention, today is the last day of Banned Books Week, and we just wanted to make sure that you got in all of that destructive reading as much as you could.
Make your parents proud.
Yes. Fill your brain with the filthy literature as much as you can.
I did.
I did too.
It was gross.
And pleasing.
That it was. So if you haven't finished a banned book this week, make sure you pick one up, as you still have a little bit of time left over today, and hopefully you'll finish one, and that way you can say you finished a banned book during Banned Book Week.